All right, what's up, boxing fans? It's Aztec 101. So this video is going to be on Turki Al-Alshikh. Everybody's asking the same questions. Who the hell is this guy? Why is he investing so much money into boxing? Why is everybody holding his hand?
I can be your hero, baby. I can kiss away the pain.
And why is everybody calling him Your Majesty and Your Highness? What the hell is going on? Well, in this video, I'm going to cover who Turki Al-Alshikh is and also talk about the whole Canelo Crawford situation. All right. Turki Al-Alshikh is an advisor at the royal court as a minister and chairman of the General Entertainment Authority, the GEA, that was established in 2016. Okay. And the goal of the GEA is to drive up tourism in Saudi Arabia. And they do that by spending a ton of money into entertainment outside of Saudi Arabia. They spend about $20 billion a year. Riyadh season, that was launched in 2019 by the GEA. Okay. And I know a lot of people have this conception, this idea that Turki Al-Alshikh is some kind of angel investor that loves boxing so much he wants to invest a ton of money into it just because he wants to see the best fight the best, and this is all coming out of his pocket. And that's not the case. You know what I mean? He's an extension of the Saudi Arabian government, and his job is specifically to drive up tourism. You know, he's not doing anything wrong by investing money into different types of entertainment and using that to promote tourism to Saudi Arabia. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with what he's doing, but he is not some investor that just loves boxing so much that he wants to do this for the goodness of his heart, from the goodness of his heart, without asking for anything in return. That's just not the case. He's attractive to several type of fighters, okay? And there's other type of fighters that they really don't need him, okay? And Terence Crawford is the type of fighter that fits perfectly. He's the perfect mold for someone like Turki Al-Alshikh. Terence Crawford, he spent years at Top Rank with having Bob Arum, constantly say that Terence Crawford doesn't sell. And you could arguably say that Top Rank focused more on Lomachenko than promoting Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford walked away from Top Rank with a chip on his shoulder. Then all of a sudden you have Turki Al-Alshikh, who's been showing a track record of, putting up big fights and with big purses and showing interest. And Terence Crawford, I do not blame Terence Crawford for becoming an ambassador to Riyadh season. I don't blame him one bit. I understand why. He kind of got a short end of the stick when it comes down to how much the promotional company is willing to invest in you. And to be honest, I was very happy to see such a huge event headlined by Terence Crawford. He's never seen an event like that. He's never headlined an event like that. But here's the thing. Turki Al-Alshikh does absolutely nothing for someone like Canelo. Canelo's in a different situation. Promoters want to work with him. Networks want to work with him. Remember, when Showtime stopped, when they said, hey, we're not doing boxing anymore, they had to come back and say, you know what, we will still do the Canelo Charlo fight though. We'll do that one. Why? Why would they continue to do boxing after saying that they're not going to do boxing? Why? Because it's Canelo. Canelo can leave DAZN, go to PBC, and still work with DAZN, and then still work with PBC. You can work with whoever he wants, and anybody's going to be willing to work with him because he generates money, to the point where Turki Al-Alshikh needs to work with him too. If he wants to get him Crawford the money that he promised him. So I'm sure he made promises to him. Canelo's a great way to do it, right? Thing is that you just can't buy everybody. Sorry, Turkey, you can't do it. Canelo's like, all right, fine. I'm going to give you a ridiculous number. And if you want me to fight Terence Crawford, I'll fight him. But Canelo, from the beginning, has shown zero interest in wanting to fight Terence Crawford. For obvious reasons. And we kind of noticed this. I mean, it was very obvious in the Crawford versus Madrimov fight that Crawford's limit is 154, maybe 160. The fans aren't interested anymore after that fight in Canelo versus Crawford. But I think the whole way that everything planned out, the way everything worked out, you could tell that Turki Al-Alshikh is very arrogant. That's why he said, oh yeah, we contacted Canelo, and if he's smart, he'll take the offer. And then Canelo clarified and said, I told him I'm focusing on this fight, and I don't like the way that he came at me. So no, if he wants to work, give me 150 million, give me 200 million. He's throwing out big numbers, ridiculous numbers. Because Canelo isn't really interested in working with Turki Al-Alshikh. He said it. He said, I'm good. Canelo said, I don't need it. I'm not asking for this fight. I'm good. I'm not asking for your money. And I don't think Turki Al-Alshikh took that lightly, which is why today he responded with a tweet and, you know, pretty much saying that Canelo, hey, you know, the reason why Canelo didn't like the offer is because he wants to continue fighting easy fights for big money, and that's not what I'm offering, which is crazy because you're offering a super middleweight Terence Crawford, which would be the easiest fight that you could give him for the amount of money that you're offering. Whatever money, I don't know what there was no money offered. There was no negotiations. I think both of these guys were barely in communications with each other, and I think a lot of this is just kind of like posturing in public. But just by the way that they're posturing, I'm looking at this and going, nah, it ain't gonna work. They ain't gonna work together. You already got Riyadh season working with the UFC, trying to take over Mexican independence, a date that's already taken by Canelo Alvarez, which is stupid because the UFC doesn't have its own Mexican fan base. They were never able to. They haven't been able to generate organically their own Mexican fan base. So what are they thinking? Do you think it's a good idea to try to challenge the most popular Mexican boxer that normally fights on that date? It seems stupid. You're just gonna piss off Mexican boxing fans. Because even the Mexican boxing fans that don't like Canelo are gonna watch the Berlanga fight just to see if Canelo loses or if he looks bad. I don't think people are gonna watch the Riyadh season UFC card. I might be wrong, but I think that's gonna be a fail. That's gonna be a bust, and that's gonna be another black eye to Turki Al-Alshikh. Canelo right now is fighting not Turki Al-Alshikh, but Saudi Arabia. He's competing against Saudi Arabia and the UFC, a country, organization against one man. And I take that quote from D-Style. Shout out to D-Style. I mean, when you word it that way, you put it in perspective, and you got to go, yeah, that's absolutely true. That is absolutely true. And it's a testament that the UFC is not bigger than boxing. Can't even compete with one of its fighters, let alone the whole sport. Turki Al-Alshikh, to me, it could be good for boxing. I don't think he's doing anything wrong. Him being part of the government or part of Saudi Arabia, I'm not trying to say that that's something wrong, right? All I'm saying is don't look at him as some guy that is just out of the goodness of his heart investing a ton of money into boxing. He is, there is something that he's trying to generate. There is a reason for it. And then also I'm saying, if he does want to fuck shit up, he can. He's got the money. The money's coming from the government, not from him. The budget's big enough, $20 billion a year. They could buy out the sanctioning bodies. They could buy out the promotional companies, and they could fuck shit up. Start doing weird fucking fights, turning it into like some kind of Coliseum shit, where you're gonna see fucking Teofimo Lopez fight Munguia. I don't know. I mean, these fights have been going on for just a little bit. I mean, I think the first fight in Saudi Arabia was George Groves versus Callum Smith, 2018. That was for the World Boxing Super Series. But the one everybody remembers that launched everything was Andy Ruiz versus Anthony Joshua. It's interesting. The top 3 heavyweights have all fought in Saudi Arabia more than 3 times or more. Fury fought 3 times in Saudi Arabia, Usyk 3 times, AJ 4 times. Shit. Francis Ngannou fought there twice. So I think that the UK fighters, maybe the UK fighters might see a benefit in fighting in Saudi Arabia. Time zone wise, it's not that conflicting. But with the US, let me tell you something. US crowd, Mexico, we don't respect monarchies like that. Like, to call someone your highness and shit like that, like, we don't understand it. We don't respect it. It's not in our nature. We're not taught that way, And I think it's a little bit easier for the UK, British people to be okay with calling him your majesty and shit. But, Americans, we're like, what the fuck are you guys doing? What are you doing? Dana White, you look goofy. You're holding his hand. What's next? You're going to grab your ankles? You guys, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of this whole situation. Let me know what you think about Turki Al-Alshikh and his place in boxing. Do you think that him consolidating everything and controlling everything is going to be good for boxing? Or do you think that he has the potential to fuck shit up like I do? And what do you think about the whole situation with Terence Crawford and Canelo? Honestly, I just think that Turki Al-Alshikh doesn't like the fact that Canelo doesn't need to work with him. He doesn't need his money, to be honest. And not to say that Crawford needs his money, but I think it's good for Crawford that someone is willing to invest in him before he walks away from the sport. So I'm happy for Terence Crawford. I hope there's no rift between Crawford and Canelo, between having fucking kind of it's almost like it seems like Canelo does not want to say anything to disrespect Terence Crawford, even though his problem is more with Turki Al-Alshikh. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, so that way I don't ramble on for no reason, I'm going to end the video here. You guys leave a comment, subscribe, let me know what you think. This is Aztec 101 in the ring, and I'm out.